Banked by the Ohio River and the city's abundance of hills. We're at Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. We're through the first quarter of the season. Hard to believe, I know, as we kick off in this Week 5 contest. Returns looking good so far. His return gets him to the 32-yard line before he's taken down. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10.
11.
Brown on the inside give. It is charged towards the line. That's right around 3 yards.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
12. Shot.
Burrow from the gun. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And that means 3rd down coming up. Seeing some early game planning at work here, Brock. They were quick to attack that throw and break it up.
Yeah, this defense knows the importance this offense places on throwing the ball to their tight ends, and they were ready for it and all over it.
That one's cut along the left sideline. They get 22 on that one. And it'll be 1st down, Bengals.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
Now a shotgun handoff to Brown. And he gets a few on the plunge forward.
I know that may look like a whole lot of nothing burger on the stat sheet, but those are the kind of plays, that inside run, that you see creative play action come off of later in the game.
2nd down now, 7 to go.
Shot.
From the 41. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that 1st down.
They've run this 12-yard out route, Kate, at the combine, well, all the way back to last century when I had to throw it. In this throw, this is a big boy throw. This is a differentiator. Can you make that deep out throw on time, on rhythm, and accurately? Well, that was teaching tape right there.
Shot.
On 1st down, here's Burrow. This throw is cupped. And they'll get this down nearly to the end zone. Instead, stopped at the 2. They get 19, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him, only to drop your hips, cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
Shot.
Brown can't fight past that line. They stop him at the 3.
Well, now things get a little dicey for this offense. 1 down left before a big decision to make. Do you continue to try running it against a front that stopped you, or are you now forced to put the ball in the air?
On 2, ready?
They've held him out twice. Here we go, 3rd and goal.
Gun. Shot. 11 MT tape. 11 MT tape. Shot.
Here's Burrow. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals finish up an excellent opening series. It's a Jamar Chase touchdown. Well, you couldn't ask for a better start to a game than that. The offense taking it all the way down the field and finishing with 6.
These opening drives, Kate, are such tone setters. It is why every offense loves to script their first 15 plays, right? Everybody knows what's coming. Allows you during the practice week to get into rhythm, but even better when you're that sharp, that crisp, and you finish off and get the early lead.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. So new kickoff rules. This is going to come out to the 30, not the 25 on the touchback. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Here's Derrick Henry getting it on the ground. He's pushed straight ahead, and that's maybe a yard at most. Jermaine Pratt with the play defensively. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
Pistol snap to Jackson. Has him on the quick hitter. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that'll be 1st down, Baltimore.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
On 1st and 10, it's Henry. And he's able to power this forward, but they stop him after 2 yards.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Lamar out of the pistol. This is caught by Isaiah Likely. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
That'll be the end of one in this AFC North battle. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Paycor Stadium right after this. Back at beginning of the 2nd quarter, Ravens in possession. They're looking at yet another 1st and 10 on this drive. Throw reeled in by Hopkins. And he's stopped. Now we'll wait to hear what this flag is all about. Fighting all he could to keep his quarterback upright, but crossed the line there. That earns the holding penalty. Double the distance to go after that holding call. It's now 1st and 20. Out of the gun, here's Jackson. He puts some air under a deep throw to the left. And they can't connect on the deep look. Still a couple of snaps to play with, though, here. We've got 2nd down.
Man, with how hard it is, Kate, to get these plays down the field, can't let the coverage off the hook with a drop. Just can't happen. But you're going to see it right here. He saw the open space ahead of him and started running before he ever brought the ball fully in.
Connect on 1st, it's 2nd down.
No, we changed it.
Lamar now from the gun. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
Big play sets him up pretty here with 1st and goal from the 5. They'll run here with Henry. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
So from the 3, here's 2nd and goal. Henry. And he's in for the touchdown. The Ravens finish off their opening drive. Derrick Henry, the touchdown. No doubt about that one, Brock. They softened that defense up with that lengthy opening series, and then the front just couldn't stand up to the run as they reached the end zone.
Yeah, the numbers tell you, kind of just like baseball, you love home runs, you love explosive plays, but when you can play small ball and you can keep that defense gasping on the field, you can often run it right down their throats in the red zone.
So following the missed point after, a chance to take his frustrations out on that football as he sends this away. Here's Charlie Jones with the return. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Now a give. It's Brown headed right. And he's just spinning his wheels, man, this entire first half. They drop it behind the line.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few. He got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Wow, wide open here. Complete. Wow, they get a big old 32 yards out of that play as well as a new set of downs.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position by hitting on that shot. You've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
So the ball on the midfield stripe now after that big play. It's 1st and 10. It is charged towards the line. That's right around 3 yards.
That's the kind of run play that feels like tug-of-war at field day. And you're just not moving the other side. Just a short run. Neither side feels particularly good about it, and we'll move to the next.
From the 47. Short pass brought in. He gets it forward for a gain of 3. Nate Wiggins getting up to end that play.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
3rd and short, it's Burrow. Cover man is there, and he harmlessly knocks it away. Incomplete.
I know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
On 1, ready?
3rd down pass didn't work, but the offense staying out there on 4th. We get a timeout now from the Bengals. That's going to be their first. And they'll have 2 left to work with here in the first half. The Bengals send out the punting unit. And he's got a good chance to really stick him deep his first time out. He punted a couple of times last week in their loss, and now gets this one away.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 8-yard line.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Jackson. Escapes the pocket. He takes it himself. And he protects himself with a slide there after a decent gain.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide to practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play. And denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on it.
After a good pickup, they're set up with second and short. We're to the 2-minute warning from the jungle. It's the Ravens, who only need a couple on second and 2. Trying down the middle with Henry. And he'll get this up to the 18-yard line. It's a meager 2-yard gain, but that's enough to award them the first down.
Hey, Kate, you want to see a picture in the football dictionary of staying on schedule? That was it.
I'm already.
The drive picks up here, first and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Complete, Derrick Henry. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on the defense.
An alert play defensively there. He got a hand on it to tip it away, and that makes it second down.
I hate those situations, Kate, as a QB. I'm looking for an open passing lane, and I can't find one anywhere. He thought he had one available. Defense did a better job of knocking it away.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Throwing again is Lamar. This is man, it's DeAndre Hopkins. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot. Now the Ravens are going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
Football on that 47-yard line, first down. Jackson yet again. Gets this one to Andrews. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you planned for, and you go out and execute.
And again, it's Jackson. Hauled in left side. And he finds space for about a 3-yard gain. Look at Cam Taylor-Britt getting up there to track that one down. Now we're going to have a timeout taken by Baltimore. It's second. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. Second down now, 7 to go.
Yeah.
Again, it's Jackson to the air. Escapes out to the left. He's on the move. And he's going to be out of bounds. Looks like a yard or 2 short of the 25. Give him 9 on that play, and it's enough for the first.
That is so demoralizing for a defense. You lock things down in coverage. You do everything right on the back end, only to see the quarterback escape, evade the pressure, and get that first down anyway. Ugh.
Up to the line, and they're set. First and 10. Now here's Lamar. Catch made over the middle. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped. Timeout taken by the Ravens. That is their final one. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half.
DC, ready?
And they've got themselves another first and 10.
Hey, middle.
Working inside the red zone. Rolling left, buying some time. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up second down.
Look at how well the coverage held up on that play. Even as the QB escapes the pocket and buys extra time secondary, well, they got real sticky, stayed tight, and forced the throw away.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Throwing now from the gun. That one's incomplete in the end zone.
Well, you got to have a short memory in the NFL. Incompletions happen. Now you got to make the adjustment and go get the next one.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have third down here. Lamar throwing again. And that's going to fall incomplete. We're down to 9 seconds left.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
And it is good. No problems there on the shorter attempt. And that's going to give them the lead.
I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown that you wanted. But that's 3 points, and it's enough to give them the lead.
Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. On the return, here's Jones. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20.
On one, ready?
All right, this is going to be the play that takes us to halftime.
Here we go, here we go. 12, 12, 12. 11 mighty, 11 hot.
Yep, as expected, they go to the ground to start this one off. And he stopped on a nice gain on what is the final play of this first half. That brings us to halftime. We'll get a break as our teams make their adjustments and then return with more of the NFL on EA Sports in just a little bit. Well, that first half, certainly an interesting one. Kate, Scott, Brock Eward with you as we get back and see what the second half has in store for us. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. And well, in the past, we wouldn't have batted an eye as it sailed over the end zone, Brock. But with our new kickoff rules in place, that's going to cost them. The football's coming all the way out to the 30-yard line. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. The drive begins with Henry. And defenders are there to get him at the line. The play brought to an end by Logan Wilson. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Made it all look so simple, didn't he? That linebacker sorting right through the traffic, finding the runner. That's instincts come to life.
2nd and 10 now. We've got a screen to the running back. What a hit! He gets flattened to the ground.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Now Jackson. He's got Andrews. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They get 22 on that one. And that's good for a Ravens 1st down.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted him. They wanted him on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after it.
Henry running to the left. And he's brought down for a loss.
This goal is pretty clear, Kate. Crash forward, and then crash inside. Set that edge, but if you can come inside and bury that runner before it gets started, all the better.
Back to the line they go. It's second down. Pistol snap to Jackson. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
Lamar out of the pistol. Buys time, rolling right. That's taken in by Henry. And he'll get them enough for a first down.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your third downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
Ball at the 33 for first down. Lamar back to throw. Dumps it off to his running back. And they stop him. He's marked down along that 18-yard line. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
Here's the lone back on the handoff. It's a real solid pickup, 12 yards, and it rewards him with a first and goal.
Now, don't think for a second they're going to slow down the tempo. Defense on their heels, and right now is the best chance to go push that envelope and get aggressive.
They'll break the huddle and come up on first and goal. They give to Henry on the inside handoff. Has the Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens grow the lead coming out of halftime. Derrick Henry, the touchdown. It's what every player who scores a touchdown wants to do, Brock. He wants to get right back there and put another 6 on the board.
I've never met an NFL player content with one end zone trip in a game.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're content, you're not making it to this league. You get one, you're instantly thinking of another, and the fortunate few are able to actually deliver on it.
Now the Ravens offense staying put. Look at this. They're going for 2. Jackson throwing for it. And he can't bring it in. They don't get the 2 points.
You know, no sense in piling on. Pretty clear for everybody to see. He knows he should have had that one. Just didn't watch it in the whole way. And it leaves 2 points on the table.
The Ravens kicking team is ready, and they're going to send this one away. He fields it from the 8. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30.
On 1, ready?
They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10.
Let's get set.
From the gun, a give to Brown. And that one's forward for 1, maybe 2 yards. The rangy Kyle Hamilton getting there for the stop. He gets a couple on first, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
Gun. Stop. Stop.
Out of the shotgun, Burrow. Finds his man, Chase. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, But I don't know how you test courage at the combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
Here we go.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42.
11.
Straight ahead, it's Brown. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline and his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
This is the end of the third quarter. It's Bengals football, and they know what they need to do, trailing here in the fourth.
On one, ready?
All right, here we go. 2nd down.
Here we go. Here we go.
Backfield is empty as they motion him out right. He's throwing deep to the left side. And that's incomplete, and he's happy to have that one fall compared to, well, the alternative. Looked like it was going to be picked there.
Well, that's not the uniform you want to see almost bringing it in. They are so fortunate to have another shot down here after the near pick.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down.
Here we go. Side.
Burrow out of the shotgun. He's loaded another one up. This is brought in at the 15. They rip off a huge chunk of field as the downs reset.
One thing we don't have in football is we don't have that radar gun. But if we did, Kate, this is the kind of throw, when you throw it that deep outside the numbers, that requires a serious fastball, serious arm strength, and he just showed it off.
And he found a little room to turn it into a nice gain down to the 6. The rookie from Georgia in on that tackle.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Side.
They'll run again with Brown. Juke the... And he'll bring it into the end zone. Touchdown, Cincinnati! The Bengals down by only 2 in the 4th. They kept it on the ground as opposed to airing it out, and that time, well, Brock, the ground game paid off.
Well, these great rushing attacks down here that can score rushing touchdowns, it takes the whole party getting involved. Yeah, the burst of the running back was tremendous. How about the launch of his blockers right off the line of scrimmage? That's a touchdown the entire way, and it took the entire group offensively.
Well, they took their shot at the tie, but they'll need to manufacture another score in the time remaining now as that 2-point try is unsuccessful.
It becomes a little bit tougher to punch it in for 2 when that defense knows what's on the line, too. That's a spot where their hand was forced after the touchdown. They had to do their best to surprise them with the call. Easier said, Kate, than done.
And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30.
At their own 30-yard line.
Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Henry gets it here to start the drive. And he won't win the race to the outside. That run's bottled up at the line. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Jackson. He'll get this to Henry. They deliver a shot before he can get to the line.
That pass, it did put him in a position where he had to shake a defender. That's all you want. Give me a one-on-one. And he is capable of doing it, but not against that dude. That defender could not be shook, and he knocked him back across the line.
Put the body on the line for his team. And he's touched down after a nice pickup there to get the first.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
On first down, Jackson into the hands of Likely. And he'll be taken down, but not until he reaches that 45-yard line. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only one? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Jackson's going to throw again. Fires right away, but incomplete.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
Couldn't connect on first. It's second down.
Report! Report! Hey, report! Report! No, we changed it. Go ahead.
Jackson yet again. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's short of the first after a mild gain. Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Here's Henry running left. And this defense continuing to erase the ground game. This one stopped at the line. Nothing for him on that play as we've hit the 2-minute warning. Offense looking confident, but they need 4 here on 4th down. Looking to throw. He finds him beyond the marker. And he'll be brought down at about the 29. That's a gain of 10, and staring at a turnover on downs, Brock, they pick up the first instead.
Oh, I love 4th downs. It just brings out the very best, and you get to see how you handle the most pressure, and it turns out, well, they handled it pretty darn well, and now they'll keep pushing.
Going with King Henry here. And they love to see him fighting forward, but he only gets them 3.
Hey, not a bad play by any means, but there's room for more, and they know it.
Second down now, 7 to go.
Yo.
Another run for Henry. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. We get a timeout now from the Bengals. That's going to be their first. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. Third and 4 coming up now. Running once more with Henry. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Cincinnati uses its second timeout. And they'll have just 1 left to burn now. here, but let's see if they resist the temptation to add on 3 more instead. He hit his first one. His second one's coming from inside of 40. Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And they're going to grow their lead late, but still a one-score ball game.
So after that make, a field goal won't cost them the lead, but a touchdown still ties it, or likely probably puts them down a point. Okay, this is one of those moments where the defense now has clarity. They know what the stakes are and what they have to defend.
On the return, here's Jones. He's stopped on the return at the 27.
Fine, ready?
Drive starts out with a 1st and 10.
Here we go. Shot.
He'll look to throw it. Wow, wide open here, complete. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory.
Shot.
Back to throw. And this one falls incomplete, so we're down to 4 seconds, and we'd assume our final snap.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Here we go. Here we go. Shot.
One final shot here. This is for the ball game. And this will not be caught, so their last chance heave to the end zone ends up on the ground. This game's over. So the Ravens will fly home with the win. And there was no easing up. It took some white knuckling until the very end, but their defense carried that small lead through to the finish line as they escape with a victory. So for Brock Eward, our incredible crew, everybody here at EA Sports, I'm Kate Scott signing off. We'll see you next time. The Ravens are your winners as we say so long from Cincinnati.
Yeah.